Hello YouTube, welcome back to Light Tommy C. I'm your host Tommy Cunningham. Today's video, what we are planning to cover is a little bit about um, about how school's going. So just to let you guys know, so today I finished one of my chapters in my class, and I feel really excited about that. So like also there's almost like a lot of like different radio stuff that is really good for stuff looking on here. So if we look on here like on transit, okay, there's nothing on here. So if we go to mileage, it looks like the best way to take there is to take the exact same way that me and my mom took down there to let's just say on our cruise, but instead of going into Baltimore, we're going to be taking a right going towards Dulles Airport, which is like 16 miles from exit 67. Well, just saying, like there is like a lot of different YouTube stuff that I have been doing some looking around on, and I think that's just a really just good idea for like using like different radios. So like also the Aerotran is an underground people mover. So if you guys ever want to use like stuff like this, like these underground people movers, they got one at like all the popular airports that I've been to, like Tampa International, also Atlanta, Georgia, and also Orlando. All those places have their own people movers. And they also got a thing called the Metro Mobile. So like this thing also is also designated in Washington, D.C. under their system, and that's called the Metrorail. And like also like looking around like at the different stuff that Indiana has to offer, there is like so much like different radio stuff that we can even look up. Like for instance, we type in WB WATE, that's what we need, WATE, and after that we click on their weather. Actually, I'll do Tampa Airport Tampa Airport Railroad, okay? So Tampa International Airport has like a new railroad. okay? So like this thing is like a really good thing for Tampa. So there's only a name that's where you need for help. Like also they do some non-stop airlines. So just saying, Buffalo does a non-stop from Tampa to on Frontier, Southwest. Now if we go on down, New York JFK does a non-stop from there from Delta and JetBlue. So the EWR does JetBlue, Sprint, and United. Now sadly there ain't any to like any of our local places like Louisville. So sadly in Louisville, if you guys are like using those kind of stuff, so like Chicago Midway does a thing there to Indianapolis. They do a non-stop air to Indianapolis. So clicking on their flight status, so we click on just a little bit of heads up. They got some going to London Gatwick. That airline has departed. Nashville Raleigh Durham. The Dallas Fort Worth flight is delayed. The Chicago O'Hare's on time. And if we click on tourist information, okay, so like they have like a lot to offer here, okay? So like if we click on guest services, we click on arrivals at the airport, okay? So they got like a pet relief center. They use Southwest, they use a pet relief center. TPA 360 Traveler Educational Program. They got walking tours of the facility, shrimp terminology, airport parking options, ticketing and check-in, TSA security screening process, navigational around the airport, airport amenities, and traveling internationally. So this is like a really, really good tour if you guys would like stuff like to help out, like with different stuff. Or if you guys like another thing, they got like TPA All Access. Well, they also got a lot of good travel items that you guys need to understand. That traveling sometimes can be like a little bit hesitating sometimes. Like for right now, for like looking up like on different stuff, they got the Metroline Silver Rail, they got the Metrorail. Now Silver Line has an express bus, other public transit they got the Metrobus, they got the Fairfield Connector, Virginia Breeze, which is their interior city bus service. They got the Megabus. So the Virginia Breeze is like a little travel bus. If we talk about now, I've done a little bit about that. Now let's talk about using like different radios that are inside like a single area, which is like honestly like a good idea. So if you guys like go looking up like on the internet, if you guys like typing in like St. Petersburg, Tampa International Airport, St. Petersburg, Florida Airport, okay? It looks like their closest airport is to Lauderdale. So they also got a flight to Pete, which is like their St. Petersburg International Airport. So if we look on like one of their flights are in the air, 2199 to Louisville, Kentucky. So if you guys are ever on that way going there, they also, if we click on flight view, and we go to, I'm just doing a for instance for you guys because you guys will probably, so if we type in by route, hold on. So if we click on airports, and then after that we look up our favorite airport, which is our local airport. Sadly that airport is not on here, but we have a couple of other choices like Louisville, Kentucky. So these are your current landings. Delta Airlines, Atlanta, Georgia. St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Allegiant Airlines, Flight 2206 has been delayed all the way until their updated time is 10 o'clock. So B16A is going to New York LaGuardia. Detroit is A1. I meant A8 on Delta Airlines. Belinsky. So if we go on up, we click on their departures. If you guys are flying out of there, what I recommend, this is what I recommend, okay? What I recommend is that you guys get there early, just try to take some deep breaths, like get to know like where you guys are going before you guys look up on here. So like then after that, if you guys are ever looking around, like at the different radio stuff that's here, like if we, so like Savannah, Georgia, flight 2167 is now delayed up to 1040. So if we look at the Chicago, so if we look at the Chicago flight, so if we look at this one, so the closest airport, ground stops are Chicago O'Hare and a Williams B. Park International Airport. So Chicago has like a flight going in from Emirates, which is going until 5:30 p.m. Do that, Tommy. Okay, so if we look at the weather on here, we look at like the travel, the air traffic map. So if we click on the Indiana Airport, the Indianapolis Airport, the I&D, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So if we look on there, we talk about their departures, and we got to understand that they got a Terminal A, and they also got a Terminal B, okay? So like Toronto, so if we look on here, okay, so we say that, let's do some thinking. The Sarasota Airport. So that's what we're going to talk about for the rest of our video. So we click on flight information, we go to arrivals and departures. We look at this. So American Airlines left gate expected at 8:39. So American Airlines and a Cincinnati airline are all the way up now until 10 o'clock. So if we look at their departures, JetBlue is departed at 6:27. American Airlines to Charlotte is delayed until 9:07. Their Chicago Midway flight is on time. That's if you guys are flying out today. So if I talk about something that I talked about in my other videos, like the airport radio frequencies, we see that operations has like a 463.6375. And their public safety is now on a different system. So if we click on talk about the Indianapolis Airport, I'm going to do this one as my final one for you guys. So we click on the Indianapolis International Airport, we look at their radio frequencies. They got quite of an interesting lineup. So they got Alaska Airlines as 452075, 464.600 is American, 463.6875 Southwest. So if we look at their Federal Express, they got aircraft landing and offloading, aircraft dispatch, aircraft operations, short maintenance. So if we look, so a little bit of heads up on the upcoming videos, I will be updating you guys on some different stuff, if there's any changes to radio frequencies, any updates to different stuff. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. Goodbye.